My name is Luis Saldaña. I'm Extension Program Specialist for 4-H and Youth Development, and this brief video is intended to be for our volunteers coming to the 2011 District 12 4-H Food Show to serve as the Senior Division Judges. I hope you find the information helpful in your preparation to be one of our judges and provide a great learning experience for the young people in South Texas. The 2011 District 12 4-H Food Show will be held on Saturday, December the 4th, 2010, in Falfurrias, Texas. So 4-H members participating in the food show will be judged on what things? Well, first of all, they'll be judged on their project experience, which includes leadership, community service, knowledge and skills, project activities, and their goals. It'll also include their recipe. But all of that has already been turned in ahead of time and has been judged for you. So as a judge for the 2011 District 12 4-H Food Show, you don't need to worry about this portion of the evaluation, and the scorecard that you'll be using will reflect that this part has already been judged. So let's focus on what you will be doing. You will be judging the communication skills and the knowledge and skills of these young people in the Foods and Nutrition program. You'll see and evaluate their knowledge of foods, nutrition, preparation, the use of ingredients, dietary guidelines, including my pyramid, food safety and preparation, and dietary lifestyle choices. And hopefully you've had the opportunity to have some training at the county level by your county extension agent or other project leaders in your county to prepare you for this event. You'll also be judging the dish itself. What will you be wanting to look for? You'll be looking at appearance and appeal and quality. Some things to keep in mind as it relates to those two items is the selection of the ingredients. Did they select fresh ingredients? Did they use fresh ingredients? The arrangement of the dish and the presentation itself. And of course the freshness, within reason. Keep in mind that some of these dishes will be sitting for quite some time, so they may not necessarily look like they did when they were prepared, ready for presentation. So you'll need to keep that in mind. Let's look at the scorecard. The scorecard is broken up into sections. The first section focuses on communication. We expect that the 4-H members come in and speak clearly. The seniors should be more adept at doing this than perhaps the younger group, so sometimes we need to raise the bar a little bit for them in that regard. Maintaining good eye contact with you as the judge or judges as a team of judges, their posture and movement. Seniors do give a 3-minute presentation. As part of this 3-minute presentation, they will need to introduce themselves, introduce their recipe, and how they prepared the dish. Project activities are also part of this presentation, special learning experiences that they had, any leadership activities that they've been involved in, and career options that they've explored, and then finally any dietary lifestyle choices that they explored as they prepared this dish or they were involved in the food and nutrition project. Here's what it will look like on the scorecard. It essentially gives you 3 main areas: voice, poise, and presentation, each valued at about 5 points, no more than 5 points each. Keep that in mind, and remember to only place value on each of those criteria to the extent that it's allowed in the scorecard. The interview is the large part of the whole food show event. In that interview, the items that should be explored include their experiences, the knowledge they've gained, preparation principles, ingredients, nutrients, dietary guidelines, and how that relates to my pyramid, calorie and serving sizes, food safety, and of course, dietary lifestyle choices. The scorecard reflects, very similar to the communication part of the scorecard, each of those criteria with 5 points attributed to each. Here's some important things to keep in mind about the interview itself. When we look at the types of questions to ask the same questions, and ask the same questions across each of the contestants that you will be interviewing as part of the contest. That helps level the playing field in terms of everyone having an equal opportunity to express their knowledge and what they've learned through this project. Ask questions about their specific dish. They've taken the time and studied that particular recipe and prepared that dish, and that's what they're going to be most knowledgeable about. Ask about the preparation of the dish. Focus on them. That is very, very important.
Focus on their experience and their dish. Some key points to keep in mind as well: give them your full attention. When they give you eye-to-eye contact, it's important that you look back at them and not spend time writing on your scorecard trying to take notes. Look at them so that you can appreciate the information and their skills as it relates to speaking and communicating with you. Of course, stay within the time limits. The 3-minute presentation needs to stay within that 3 minutes, and then you have an additional 5 minutes of interview time. So use that time wisely. I know it's difficult. Some kids will speak more than others. Some will give very, very long, drawn-out responses to one question, which may limit the number of questions you can ask, whereas others may give very short, concise answers, which are not necessarily better or worse, because you can answer a question relatively quickly if you know what you're saying and you can express that well. At the same time, the person that speaks for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that they're rambling. They may be very knowledgeable about the question that you've asked them, and they're just trying to elaborate more. So keep that in mind, but stay within the time limits. And don't try to stump them with some kind of trick question or difficult question. We're not judging them based on how well they can recover from a very, very difficult question. They should be questions that are relevant to their dish, relevant to their project, and their experience. Now we get to the point where we actually judge the food, and we look at appearance and appeal and quality. Like the scorecard in the other sections, you've got the 2 criteria. Each are worth 5 points. So the total presentation of the actual food itself is only worth 10 points. If someone brings some elaborate dish that's just extremely difficult to prepare and done a fantastic job of presenting it with garnishes and just arranged all of the food on the plate just right, that's great. But we shouldn't overlook all of the other factors that we evaluate for that one particular criteria. Okay? So just keep that, and that's true of all the judging criteria. We've got to place the importance that it's attributed to it on the scorecard. Okay? So keep those things in mind when you're looking at the food itself. Other key points, and we're going to look at some of the things you want to do. Be focused on them. They're there, they're nervous. Help them feel comfortable, but be focused on them. Minimize any distractions that may be going on around them, and please don't even create any distractions right in front of them because they're already nervous, and we want to make this a positive experience for them. Use positive and constructive comments. The great job and the good job are excellent, motivating comments, but they don't do anything to help that person improve. So couple those good comments with areas that they can help and improve their project area. For example, tell them you need to improve your eye-to-eye contact, or you need to do a little bit better job of arranging your dish on the your food on the dish itself, or perhaps you didn't have a garnish. Maybe a garnish would have been nice. Those types of things. Be consistent. Okay, I can't stress that enough. You've got to be consistent across all of the young people that you're evaluating, which includes the questions, the level of attention you give them, the amount of time you spend with them, all of those things. Of course, familiarize yourself with the rules. Familiarize yourself with the scorecard, and we've attempted to do that with this video. Notify the superintendent if you have a question about any of the items here. And of course, stay on schedule. And finally, have fun, because you know what? It's contagious. If you're enjoying yourself as a judge, then that will help make those contestants feel a little bit more at ease. Some things that you don't want to do, don't make them any more nervous than they already are. Don't get distracted. Focus on them. Don't write comments until they leave. You will be given a couple of minutes after the interview is over for you to write your comments down on your scorecard. So use that time wisely, but don't do that while they're in front of you speaking. Don't over or undervalue judging criteria. We use the scorecard, and we have the selection criteria and the numeric representation or value for each one of those criteria. So don't place more value on one item than what was outlined in the scorecard. This is very important. Don't let personal preferences prevail. The smell of liver and onions makes me just want to hurl. But that's my personal preference. I can't let that get in the way of someone who did a great job of preparing a dish of liver and onions as a main dish. So keep that in mind. We all have personal preferences, but we're not here to judge our personal preferences. And this is not a bake-off. We're not trying to see who prepared the best dish. We're trying to evaluate these young people's knowledge, their skills, and their experiences. So keep that in mind and keep those personal preferences in your pocket. Don't taste any food. Okay? Some of this food may have been sitting for some time, and while it may look appetizing, we don't want to run the risk of having any foodborne illnesses because they've been sitting out for some time. And don't forget, this whole event is about them. So make it a good experience for them. 2 final points. Be there early and wait until the results have been completed to make sure we don't have any ties. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you again for being a volunteer with the 4-H program.
If you have any questions, you can reach us at d124h@ag.tmu.edu or visit our website at http://d124-h.tamu.edu. Have a great day.